Very, very beautiful here. So that was amazing. What Bill just did was beautiful. Hello teachers, so this is Sheriff from EC English. Today we're going to be watching a lesson and reacting to it, and we're going to see a few things that we can actually learn from that lesson. So let's get started.
Hey everybody, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
So the first thing you can notice here that we have students from different nationalities, right? They come from different countries and it's a multicultural class, so that can be a bit challenging at times. So let's see how this teacher, I think his name is Bill, let's see how this teacher is gonna deal with that situation.
The weather today.
Awful.
Okay, look at my 5 faces. Number 1, number 5. Awful. Which number?
5.
How do you spell it?
A
Okay, one person. Go ahead.
W F U L.
So a few things happen here, right? So the teacher chose a very broad question, right? How's the weather today? So every student can relate to that question in a way. And he linked that to the main aim of that lesson, which so far I guess is about feelings, is about emotions, about maybe some adjectives like awful, maybe amazing, things like that, right? So it was a great question to start the lesson. Something else that Bill here did very well was when students started all speaking at the same time, Bill just stopped them and said, okay, just one of you can spell the word awful, right? So this is classroom management. When you see students all speaking at the same time, it is better to nominate one of them, right?
Okay, pronunciation.
Awful.
Okay, everybody listen. Awful, speak.
Awful.
All right, so that was very, very nice. So if you've noticed, the teacher, Bill here, he told the students to listen to him first, right? And he told them, listen, listen. And then he said it 1 or 2 times. And then he asked the students to repeat after him. So this is very important when it comes to pronunciation drills, right? We first, as teachers, we should say the new word, maybe 1, 2, 3 times. I would recommend 2 or 3 times minimum. And then you can ask students to repeat after you, but first they need to listen to your own pronunciation as the teacher, right?
Very good or very bad?
Bad.
Okay.
So then here the teacher is asking, awful, does it mean very good or very bad? So we call this CCQs, right? So concept checking questions. So the teacher here is trying to check if they got the meaning of the new word, which is awful.
1 minute with your partner, think of more adjectives for woo. One example?
Gorgeous.
Right, 1 minute with your partner, think of adjectives.
Okay, so here Bill actually did something very, very good as well. He was trying to elicit, so elicitation is very important when it comes to teaching. So he was trying to elicit from the students all the adjectives that they know before, I'm assuming he's going to later tell them about more adjectives that they need to learn during the lesson. So elicitation was very important. Also, something that Bill did very well was giving them a time limit. So he said 1 minute, right? So it's very important when you set tasks that you give them a specific time limit. And one thing that can make this setup for this task even better, after giving the instructions, maybe he could have asked like ICQs, right? So instruction checking questions. So maybe he could have asked like, how much time do you have? Or are you gonna think about nouns or adjectives? And they would say, oh, adjectives. So these questions can be very helpful to make sure that students actually got the meaning or understood the instructions.
Higher.
Number 2 is good.
Let's check together. This word here, pronunciation?
Dreadful.
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 What do you think? Very good? In the middle? Very bad? Who thinks very good? Very good. Oh, this school is dreadful. Very good?
No.
In the middle?
No.
Very bad?
Yes.
The same as?
Awful.
Yeah, awful and dreadful the same. Today the weather is?
Dreadful.
Okay, pronunciation.
So you can see here, Bill wrote all the adjectives that students maybe wrote, and maybe he added more adjectives that he wanted the students to actually learn. And again, elicitation, very important here, right? He was eliciting from the students, for example, the word dreadful. Where should we put it, right? And then he did the same thing. He asked some CCQs to check the meaning of the word. So, and I think he did all, he followed those steps with all the other words as well. So far, great work.
Pronunciation. How do you say it? Okay, stress. One. Where's the stress? One or two?
Two.
Brilliant.
No. Brilliant.
Stress one or two?
One.
Yeah, 2 syllables, brilliant. The stress,
Brilliant.
one. So listen, brilliant, brilliant. Speak.
So you can see here, Bill is trying to, after focusing on the meaning, he's trying to focus more on the pronunciation in depth. So he's trying to focus more on word stress, and he's trying to make them think about which syllable in the word has the primary stress, right? The main stress. So great work so far. And again, as you notice here, as he did before, he would tell the students to listen. He would say the word a few times, and then he would say, okay, speak. Now you can say or repeat the word after me. So very, very good work when it comes to word stress. Just one thing that can make pronunciation drills even better, and Bill tried to make it better here, but if you really want to make pronunciation drills even better, instead of just pronouncing one word, like a single language item, like for example the word dreadful, and asking the students to repeat after you, a better way to do it is to use the word in a sentence, right? So you ask the students to repeat a sentence that contains that new vocabulary, right? So it makes it more meaningful, and also helps the students to remember the meaning of the word, because they're repeating a sentence instead of just repeating a single word.
The music, the
Brilliant.
food,
Brilliant.
the lesson. Okay, we're going to talk about last night. Yeah? Here is a conversation, question, answer. Hey, what? Good. Slowly. Yeah? What do last night?
So here, I believe the teacher is trying to set up a new activity. And you can notice here, this is something about classroom management. Again, when students started to speak all at once, he said, slow, like, just stop for a minute. And it is very important. And the reason that's very important is because when you allow students to talk at once, and if you let it go the first time, they're gonna do it again and again and again, and then it becomes a habit of this class, of all those students, they're gonna all start doing it. So as soon as you notice your students all talking at once, that's when you stop them. And you kind of have to, because you want to maintain that classroom management, you want to maintain the classroom control.
What do last night? Is last night now or finished?
Finish.
Okay, when you make a question, do, have, did, because,
Past simple.
and it's finished, past simple. Well done, congratulations.
So you can see here, Bill here is trying to elicit the past simple tense, and he did it by asking questions. Again, elicitation, right? So he used last night to help students focus on the past, And then he asked, okay, if you want to make a question, do we use do or does, or what do we need to use? And then one of the students said did, right? And then another student said, oh, past simple. And that was very, very wonderful from the teacher actually to do. So he allowed students to kind of deduce that they're talking about the past simple now, and they're going to use the past simple. And he made that in a very effective way. And the student that said, oh, this is the past simple tense, he went to her and he shook her hands and he said, wow, congrats. So this is kind of encouragement. And as you know, for teachers and for learners, we really have to praise our students, especially when they say something that is very, very relevant to the lesson and very useful to the lesson. So when this student brought up the past simple tense, that was a very nice moment to utilize and to praise the student. And you can see her here, like she's smiling, she's so happy, like, oh, I got this, I know the past simple tense. And the teacher is very happy that I mentioned that I know that. So we always need to capitalize on those moments.
Good. Okay. Here's a question. Okay? Okay, go ahead. What's the question? Think the Okay? What's the question?
Okay, then.
Okay, listen.
What did you do last night?
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And here
So yeah, here Bill is eliciting not only the question, he's trying to also elicit the answer from the student. So how to make the question in the past simple tense and how to answer as well.
name of a movie? Borat, for example.
So if you don't know the movie Borat, it's a very funny movie, and that's why students are laughing. So we can take away from this bit of the lesson something about being a little bit funny during, our lessons, and to have that sense of humor. It really makes students feel at ease, and they enjoy learning that way, right? So that was a good move from Bill as well.
Yeah? And enjoy? Okay. Don't write the conversation. Don't write it. You have 15 seconds. Think of the question and the answer. Speak with your partner. Okay? 15 seconds. Go.
So what Bill did here was very important because he was trying to make the lesson more interactive. So instead of students individually thinking about the question and the answer, he told them you have 15 seconds. Together you can think about it. So, and he told them don't write, just speak about it. So again, that makes the lesson more interactive, more communicative as well, which is very important when it comes to teaching, right? But again, something that Bill can do better is asking ICQs. So maybe, are you going to write or speak, right? And they say, oh, we're going to speak. So maybe he could have asked those ICQs to check that the students actually got what they need to do and they are fully aware of what they need to do as well.
What did you see?
Time is up.
And then you can see Bill here saying time's up. Again, nothing is wrong with that, but to make it better, because that's why we're having this, that's why we're making this video, to learn how to do things maybe in a better way. He could have shown a timer, right, on the screen. Having a timer on the screen is very, very useful because that allows students to know exactly how much time they have. It is better than just saying, okay, time's up, because maybe students are not fully aware of time. They don't really keep track of time, especially if the activity is long. So maybe if it's a 2-minute activity, it is much better to have a timer on the screen, like a stopwatch maybe, and that's much better than just telling students, okay, time's up.
Good. Okay. Victor, hi.
Hi.
Make the question.
The first,
The first question.
what did you do last night?
Okay. Answer Okay, listen.
I go to cinema.
I went.
Now or past?
So very, very well done by Bill here. So one of the students, when they were answering, said, I go to the cinema. And Bill immediately said, is that now or in the past? So that's a beautiful error correction technique, which is, it allows the student to correct themselves. And this is very, very important and very useful for students. Instead of us as teachers just giving the answer or the correction right away, it is important to allow students to self-correct, to correct themselves as well.
Now or past? What's the past to go? Listen.
I went to cinema.
Okay, tell me, cinema.
The cinema.
Okay, listen.
I went to the cinema.
I.
Went to the cinema.
Okay, here's the next question. Enjoy. Did you, have you? Sandra?
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Question?
Did you enjoy it?
Yes. It's
One
brilliant.
point. Again?
Yes, it's brilliant.
It is or it was?
Was.
Okay, so that's another correction technique. So instead of maybe hinting towards the answer and giving clues, here Bill gave two options. One is correct, one is incorrect, right? So he said, yes, it is, or yes, it was. And then the student was able to correct himself. Again, most of error corrections techniques, they're all about giving a chance to students to correct themselves first, which is a very important key when it comes to giving language feedback.
It is or it was?
Was brilliant.
Was. Listen, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Speak.
Very, very beautiful here. So that was amazing. What Bill just did was beautiful because the student used the word was, which is not wrong, but he used the strong form, right? As you know, we have the weak form of the word was and we have the strong form. And the student used the strong form here. He said, yes, it was. And then Bill told him, is it was or is it was, like the weak form? And the student was able to use the weak form. So that's a very beautiful way, it's a brilliant way to highlight some pronunciation aspects that students maybe are not aware of, or maybe they forgot about. Maybe they're not even aware that we have words with weak forms and words with strong forms. So that was very, very well done by Bill to highlight that and to make students notice that as well.
It was brilliant. Speak. Okay, very good or very bad?
Very good.
Okay, we're going to now look at the pronunciation. Where's the stress and intonation? Going up, rising. Going down, falling.
So here they're going to move again to focus on pronunciation. So in the beginning, the teacher focused on word stress, so which syllable had the main stress in those words, and now they're trying to focus on intonation. There's a great video about teaching intonation. I'm going to leave the link for that video in the comments below.
And rising, falling.
The video was actually talked about this intonation technique, or this technique of teaching intonation. So whistling is a great way of teaching intonation. Also humming is a great way as well. So why such techniques are very useful? Because it allows students to not focus on the words, but only focus on the tone of your voice and how it's going up and down, right? So the patterns of the rising intonation or falling intonation, it is much more useful for students to, and it's easier for the students to notice that by maybe humming or whistling the sentence instead of just saying.
Okay. Stress? Yes? Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. do last night? Now, is it going up or going down? Listen, listen, listen. What did you do last night? What did you do last night? It goes up on do and then down. This is falling. What did you do last night? Good, good. Okay, good. Okay. Now, where's the stress here?
Cinema.
Okay. Now, speak the sentence. Is it
You can see here that Bill is highlighting the word that has the main stress. So in the beginning of the lesson, he was focusing on word stress. Now he's focusing on sentence stress. So which word in a sentence or a question or an otherness that has the main stress. So, and he's marking that. You can make a square, maybe some teachers make a circle, but again, you can highlight that word by just maybe making a circle or a square above that word. Very useful for students to see that stress as well. So we're trying our best as teachers to make pronunciation when it comes to maybe stress or intonation. We're trying to make that as visual as possible for students.
now? Is it going up or going down? Listen, listen, listen. What did you do last night? What did you do last night? It goes up on do and then down. This is falling. What did you do last night? Good, good. Okay, good. Okay. Now, where's the stress here?
Cinema.
Okay. Now, speak the sentence. Is it rising or falling? Speak it. Speak.
I went to the cinema. I went to the cinema.
Rising or falling?
Falling.
Yeah. Here's the run. Cinema. Cinema. Cinema.
Cinema.
So, okay, I'm going to speak. Yeah, listen and repeat. Okay, everybody. Yeah. If it helps you, you can do this. I do this. What did you do last night? Do you want to try? What did you? With your hands. Hands. Look. What did you do last night? Speak.
What did you do last night?
Listen.
Again, very, very effective technique for teaching intonation and stress. So, especially intonation here. So, we were talking about making pronunciation more visual, and here Bill is not only making it visual, but making it physical as well. So, using hand gestures, right? So, using body language, very, very effective, and asking the students to do the same so we can see that the sentence is going up, it's a rising intonation, and then it falls a little bit at the end. So making students use their body to show that they got the intonation pattern that you're trying to teach is very, very effective.
Fantastic. Okay, with your partner, this is A, B. Okay? A, B, and then change. A, B. What did you do? This conversation. Okay? Go ahead.
What do you do?
What did you do last night? I went to the
Really?
cinema.
What do you see?
Really? What did you see there? Bored.
Do you enjoy it?
Really? Did you enjoy it? Yes, it was very.
So you can see Bill, he went down instead of just walking to monitor the students. This is very, very effective. When you monitor your students, you try to be as unnoticeable as possible, let's say that. So you can go down to be maybe eye level with the students. A better way to do it, or maybe a little bit of an improvement that you can add to that would be maybe instead of monitoring the students from the front, so instead of facing them, you can go from behind the students and you can monitor them, and that can make the students maybe feel more at ease and more comfortable, and it makes them feel that, oh, the teacher is not really just watching us, because some students can get a little bit stressed, or they feel a bit of pressure when they feel, oh, the teacher is like watching us right now, he's listening to us. Yeah.
You do?
I watched.
So you can see here that Bill is going to give the students a chance to use what they have learned, the new adjectives, using the past simple, also using the new intonation patterns they've learned, the sentence stress they have learned, but he's going to give them a different topic. So that's very well done.
Okay?
What did you do last night?
I stayed at home.
Really? What did you do?
It was okay, nothing special.
Okay. Did you enjoy the lesson?
Yes.
So, did you enjoy the lesson? I think personally, I enjoyed Bill's lesson very much. A lot of very, very effective techniques were used in that lesson. I think the most important thing we can take away from Bill's lesson was maybe the elicitation that he did was very, very well done. Also, he did some wonderful scaffolding, right? So he started by focusing on those adjectives first, and then he focused on how to make a question in the past simple, and then how to answer these questions, and then how to use the new adjectives they have learned in answering those questions and in creating that dialogue. And then he used one dialogue as an example about the cinema, and then he allowed students to create their own dialogues as well and use the new vocabulary they have learned. Also, something else that Bill did very, very well was focusing on pronunciation and different aspects of pronunciation. So word stress, sentence stress, and intonation. Especially when it comes to intonation, he did some very, very good work when it comes to making pronunciation more visual. So he showed them the different patterns of intonation when he drew those arrows on the board to show like the rising intonation and the falling intonation. So that was very, very effective. But Bill didn't only focus on the visual aspect of that. He did some brilliant work when it comes to making pronunciation more physical by using whistling, by using hand gestures and body language. So that was very, very well done by Bill. I think it was a fantastic way to really show students how intonation works in English and the main intonation patterns in English. Maybe a few things that we can actually improve based on this lesson can be maybe asking more ICQs after giving instructions to check if students got the meaning and understood the instructions. Also, we can maybe show a timer or a stopwatch, especially when we give them like a time limit for a task. That can be very, very helpful for students because again, they don't always keep track of time. So it's very useful for them to see how much time they have left for that specific activity. Also, something that could have made this lesson a bit better is maybe using more effective pronunciation drills. I think Bill used amazing pronunciation drills, but he could have made it a bit better by being more consistent. And instead of just using, for example, body language for one or two sentences, he could have used body language for all the sentences, or at least most of them. And not only that, he could have elicited from the students how to use their body language to express the intonation pattern. That could have been very effective as well. But overall, I think this lesson was successful because students were able to practice the new language they have learned, and the teacher talking time was very balanced. I think the students had enough time to practice the new language they have learned, and the teacher didn't really talk too much during the lesson. Something else that the teacher did very well was his ability to use amazing correction techniques. So he was able to ask students to correct themselves using different techniques by repeating what they said, and sometimes by giving them two options or two choices, and allowing students to choose the correct answer. So that was very effective when it comes to error correction. So that's it for this video. So please let us know in the comments which aspect of this lesson did you enjoy the most, any new techniques you've learned that you would like to adapt and use in your own teaching, and what things you would like us to review next. So maybe if you have any videos of yourself as a teacher, or maybe other teaching videos that you want us to review on our page and website, please send it to us. And if you want to know more about our courses and training sessions, please visit our website. And as always, if you found this video useful, please share with as many teachers as you can, and I'll see you in the next video.